voters in Patna.
I have got some very fascinating data sets that we want to put out for the first time. This is a phase-wise breakup of how Bihar voted. And what I'm about to tell you is startling because it doesn't ordinarily happen like this. In the first phase in Bihar, according to the leads that are available, the Gadbandhan led in 45 seats. In the first phase, 45 seat lead to the Gadbandhan. The NDA was less than half at 21. So in the first phase of Bihar, the Mahagadbandhan won double the seats of the NDA. That is crucial. Cut now to phase 2. In the second phase, the NDA won on 51, the Gadbandhan on 39.
Or leading.
Leading. Tight, but decisively in favor of the NDA. 51 for the NDA, 39 for the Gadbandhan. Phase 3, Seemanchal largely. 59 leads for the NDA versus 15 for the RJD plus. A collapse of the RJD plus in phase 3. 59 leads for the NDA. We just ran these calculations on the data intelligence unit systems. 59 leads for the NDA in phase 3 versus 15. A complete turnaround from phase 1 to phase 3.
And the interesting thing is phase 3 is where the RJD social base should be the strongest. In Kosi, Seemanchal, Kosi has large pockets with large Yadav and Muslim population. Seemanchal has large, predominantly Muslim. There are 50% plus Muslim seats.
And where Congress is also strong.
And where the Congress is also relatively strong. They won the Lok Sabha seat from Kishanganj, for example. So, you know, that is the big turnaround in this election. As per these numbers, I think many of the marginal
But that's stunning, Rajdeep. A collapse in phase 3.
You will also find, Rahul, many of the marginal seats.
This is just a day before,
so far.
because it's on the 5th of November that Nitish Kumar announced very dramatically that this would be my last election. He was speaking in Purnia, Damdama, that's the name of the constituency, where he said, today is the last day of campaigning. Today, voting is due day after. Tomorrow is my last election. All is well. That end bell, Jant bhala, wo sab bhala. Now you tell me whether you will vote for the NDA candidate or not. Could that have been a game changer? Does it connect in an emotional way? Because you've got the social composition supporting the RJD plus there, and the result is completely contrary.
Pappu Yadav may just be a stronger leader of the Yadavs than Tejasvi Yadav. So while we are thinking that he is Lalu Prasad Yadav incarnate, on the ground, a lot more challenge to Tejasvi's leadership.
In particular constituencies in Saharsa, in parts of Madhepura, in parts of Sopol, you can argue that. But I don't think it's a statewide trend. You know, my point is, if we said anti-incumbency, then it should consolidate around someone whom you want to replace. Now, if that has not happened in the perfect sense, then if your Muslim Yadav combine is cracking at the edges, whether it's to an Owaisi, whether it's to a Pappu Yadav, it's advantage BJP.
Yeah.
You know, let's be honest. The fact is that for the RJD Congress left alliance to win, they need some kind of consolidation of the anti-incumbency vote. If there is such a large, first of all, we don't know the size of this anti-incumbency vote. In fact, Rahul, if you can look at vote share, it will be interesting to look at vote share at the moment.
I'm usually slightly concerned about looking at vote share so early because it's very, very early in the game.
But it will give us the JDU numbers.
We can look at vote share for sure, and it will give you a sense of who's up and who's down.
Yeah.
NDA plus NDA is down 5%, but that's because, you know,
this is compared to 2015.
Correct, 2015.
No, don't look at the compare, just look at the overall number.
Yeah, so we'll pull that out, but because, you know, comparison in this election is almost impossible because last time you had the JDU and the RJD that fought together. Yeah. This time you've got the JDU and the BJP together. So what do you compare with? Your base itself has changed.
But look at the last number there, Rahul. The most significant number is 18% others.
And this is what
this is what was said yesterday when we also discussed the potential X factors. Others are 18%, LJP is 6%. 24% of the vote, and predominantly these parties also attack Nitish Kumar. So the fragmentation of the anti-Nitish vote.
I just want to say this again as we draw sweeping generalizations on one side or the other. Just bear this in mind that about 4.2 crore voters voted in Bihar, out of whom, according to the Election Commission's own website, about 50 lakh votes have been counted so far. 55, according to the EC's website, more would have been counted, takes a bit of time, but 55 lakh votes have been counted. That's about 22,723 votes on an average. while you've got 1.72 lakh votes on every constituency. So you've counted about 22,000 votes in every constituency on an average, mota, about 1.73 lakh votes. So the actual counting is still some distance to go.
I'm not doubting that. All I'm saying is when you look at those numbers, and obviously this could change, it has NDA at 38% and the Mahagathbandhan at 36%. So a gap of 2. When I then look at others at 18, and I keep reiterating, many of these others also contested targeting Nitish Kumar. The fragment and 6% of LJP becomes a sizable 24%. And I think as the day goes along, if that starts collapsing, if 18% starts going down to 12, 13, then the MGP has a chance. They need the anti-Nitish vote to consolidate around the Congress, the left, or indeed the RJD. If it doesn't, then I think the BJP-led alliance...
We've got Pawan Verma joining us. Ajay,